I'm just going to share with you some observations about McCarthy being elected as Speaker of the House, which occurred after midnight on January the 7th this year. In my Telegram, the Spirit of Middle Open chat, Illuminated Patriot posted this 17 screen cap from January the 4th, 2018, number 463, and it's just 7 out of 10. He says, think of this as you will. So given the number of voting sessions it took to elect McCarthy as Speaker, there was some who were speculating that the situation we see with the timing was somehow pre-planned, either contrived for a good reason or for a bad reason. It's noted that McCarthy has agreed to allow it so that one lawmaker can make a motion to elect a new Speaker, as well as to allow for a vote on a concept of term limits, a vote on a concept of budget resolution that balances the budget in 10 years, and not to increase debt limit without spending cuts, as well as not to bring bills to the floor until 72 hours have passed. And finally, 3 seats on the Rules Committee for the House Freedom Caucus members. And so in this scenario, I'm thinking about the role that Matt Gaetz is playing. It's known that McCarthy would have won on the 14th vote for Speaker had Matt Gaetz not voted present like he did. It's also noted that Congressman Matt Gaetz nominated former President Donald Trump for Speaker. And here is that moment.
Gaetz. Trump.
This apparently was foreshadowed March of 2022, where Matt Gaetz said, quote, "Give us the ability to fire Nancy Pelosi, take back majority, and impeach Joe Biden. I'm going to nominate Donald Trump as the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives." So then going back to the 17 posts, let's just go back to this time period, January of 2018. So using this feature on the 17 Alerts website, I just went forward in time from this moment, January 4th, after you got that post. I'll just read to you the key references that pop out that I find interesting, given the concern for psychological operations with this particular account in the question of nefarious rather than benevolent intent for the posts. At the end of what I'm going to show you, speculation is the question of, is Matt Gaetz on the quote-unquote 17 team, either for good or for ill? So for the very next post, we have a reference to Loop Capital Markets, big next week, stated. 466 post, we have reference to Patriots in full control. I'm going to briefly break from this scroll to show you the implications of this. I take you to this Mark Passio clip where he discusses stand down psyops.
And take up that level of sacrifice and discomfort in my own life. So, stand down psyops are conducted in order to make people believe that someone or some group external to themselves is going to, quote, save or, quote, rescue them from their current serious or dangerous situation. The belief that someone is coming to help them, or that some other person or group has the problem in hand, makes them enter into a stand-down mode of consciousness, and thereby take no real-world action to improve their own situation in the immediate or long-term sense.
So I agree there that this is a potential risk. So statements like this are just something to be careful about. Then the very next post, we have a reference to CodeMonkey. It says, please log in and confirm IDEN. The other thing that's interesting is on this website, you have this stuff here. Look at this type of merchandise that's being sold. That iconography has been popularized by the 4th Psyop group in their Ghost in the Machine video. You see how these topics are starting to intertwine. And recall my Is Ron Watkins 17 as per HBO interview. Keep this in mind, we'll continue. Just be clear, this is CodeMonkey. Next post, more comms of CodeMonkey. Statement about board being compromised, January 6, 2018. Switch of the boards from 4CH to 8CH, January 6, post 473. No further posts on this board until this ID. Concept of markers, Rod Rosenstein, RR out. The concept of the 17 clock introduced. Timestamp decipher think clock. Find the clock with all markers. The other reference to Loop Capital. Post 481, attempt to link 17 posts in the HCH to Donald Trump's tweets via timestamps. Concept of the watch pen popularized. January 7th, a series of posts on the A1 scandal. Post talking about U.S. taxpayers funding a lot of scams, January 7th. Post talking about senators being worth millions and corruption of politicians. Post stating, quote, we will never lose again when this is finished. When misspelled. Still January 7th, reference to 7th floor of State Department. And finally, post 497, good win, in brackets, win /win 15. So additionally, Twitter user feistyandfriends posted this observation. This post says that Saturday, January 7th is the same as Christmas in 2023 in Russia, as you can appreciate here. References as O into 17, more to find over time, happy hunting. Referencing St. Nicholas holding a hammer, Santa with a hammer signed by QA. This Christmas we want justice. Confirmed, QA leads to 17, leads to hammer. Then a picture of McCarthy with a gavel. This is all to suggest that McCarthy's election to speakership on January the 7th of 2023 was planned at least 5 years ago, typified by this reference of the bracketed 15 as being when the win will occur, coincidentally also being Christmas in Russia, matching with a portrait of Santa holding a hammer. And so I report, thinking flexibly about this matter, that we could be in the midst of a type of demoralization psyop, pranking small amounts of hopium to later be dashed through failed promises. Or alternatively, we're in the 457th round of high-level white hat patriot live-action war games, with the end goal being to either get Americans angry by electing a disaster such as Kevin McCarthy, or to truly encourage Americans by suggesting that today is Christmas, St. Nicholas has his gavel, and the real fun and games of 2023 to rectify many of the evils of the past 2 years is to scratch that past 6 years. I don't know for sure, but there is the concept that we are multiversal, and so it could possibly be that there are specific realities where truly on a first day of Republican control, the J6 jaywalkers and curious innocent bystanders will find actual justice. Merrick Garland will find justice, on and on. But perhaps in another universe, we're just seeing a part of the demoralization campaign and a continuation of the 1920s Operation Trust. Harkening back to the Mandela effect concept, many casual observers would state that it appears that we are in a more degenerative reality. However, we are a bit trapped in our perspective due to the current events around us. Hopefully this is not our lot, but we just have to make the best of it, whatever it is. Now, I would say I'm personally up for the Christmas in July reality, complete with Nasara and True Justice, as promoted by Santa Surfing. But what happened to her channel here? It's like none of the videos that she previously posted are there. That shows the channel started 11 months ago. This is weird. Is this a different person? Are we in the Mandela effect? Retroactive change? It looks like the content still exists to some degree. Anyways, catch you next video.